everybody. I'm going to announce the two stars of this film, DogMan. I have Caleb Landry Jones.
Hello.
And then I have Jojo T. Gibbs. Okay, so I'm just gonna kick it off. What attracted you guys to this film? Like, what was your first impression when you read the script? And I'll start with you, Caleb.
First off, hello. Thank you so much for coming and watching the film. Been waiting and a little nervous to see what you guys think.
Oh my God.
Wonderful.
Is all right? And this one here, Jojo, no, but when reading the script, just thought it was wild, saw all of the things that could go wrong, and didn't know where to start, and Luc started very simply by having me over, talk, go through the script little by little, and after about 5 months, I was very comfortable with the guy. So by the time I was over in France and meeting wolves and taking walks with an elephant and talking to doctors and getting dance lessons and singing lessons, even though I didn't sing in the movie. You know, it all started kind of one thing led to another thing, and kind of informed more and more what it was to do. But at first, just had no idea what to make of it, except that I had a kind of sick feeling in my stomach of, oh man, this is great, but oh man, you could really mess it up, or really waste everyone's time, So.
For me, excuse me, deep voices. Anyway, I didn't get the full script until after I got the role. I initially got the audition, and it was 2 scenes, and just from the breakdown and seeing Luc Besson and Caleb Landry Jones, and I had seen him in Get Out and The Outpost, and I was like, oh, hell yeah, like I gotta get this role, and my agent called me so hastily about it. He was like, what are you doing? I was like, doing an audition. He was like, scrap that, I got another one for you, get it back to me tonight. I was like, oh, send it to me. And it was Luc Besson, and I was like, this is why the energy. And I sent it back the same night. Oh, I'm talking too much. I sent it back the same night, and I think it was really quick. I got the role probably the next day, and then they trusted me with the full script.
Amazing. So just speaking on that, working with Luc Besson, I mean, he is just a legendary director, and I want to know, what was your experience like working with him? Caleb, I know you're working with him again in for the upcoming Dracula film. And just curious about your experience. Yeah, woo.
Room for another Dracula?
There's always room for more Dracula.
Yes.
What was the question?
Just wondering about your experience working with Luc. What did you have any expectations going in, or what was the experience like?
Well, first off, I just wanted to say more. So Jojo, like after that tape, after she did the tape, Luc was really, really excited, and he's going, I found her, I found Evelyn, I found her, she's incredible. And then Jojo and I didn't meet beforehand, and so the first time we meet is in the first scene in the that we meet in the movie. And that was really great. And so when you say, how was it working with Luc? Luc is very meticulous and has a very specific idea in his head, and sees the whole thing in his head, and lives and breathes the movie all the time. It's all he's talking about, pretty much, from morning till when you see him at night. And so there's this person just working in this kind of way and planning everything so specifically that you're able to have 124 dogs, which is just a heck of a mess. And everyone's not doing what you're supposed to do. And he's still able to, I got that. No, I just need this. Okay, I got that. I need this. Nope, still need this. And when you watch the movie, to me, I'm just in awe of how he's put it together. Something that on set was just 47 voices, and 35 of them were animals, and 10 or 12 of them were people, But so it was a really amazing opportunity in many ways. But yeah.
I agree. Working with Luc, he's so passionate. I mean, this is the only Is it? Hello? No? I felt loud. Dang, okay. Oh, boom, there it is. They don't want me saying anything. I will be quiet. I love listening to Caleb, so I'm in accordance. Anyway, I love working with Luc. He was, like Caleb said, very meticulous and intentional. He had this huge 3-ring binder that was clearly more than the script. I don't know what was in there, but it was a lot of detailed information. And he would meet with us in the morning, and just a dedication of his time and the respect that you could tell the crew had for him was so evident, because the crew ran kind of in a militant kind of way, in the best way, just very efficient. And you could attest that to their respect for his passion for it. And he, like we were talking about earlier, like Luc was telling me his story. He has a movie. Like, his story is a movie, low key. He learned all the different roles on set. So, when you can not only ask for something, but give a solution to it as well, I think that's very special for a director to be able to do, and that probably adds to why they respect him so much.
Yeah, definitely. I think being able to understand every single position on set gives you a lot more insight when you're filming. So I just want to talk about the movie specifically. Caleb, you have a lot of physical scenes in this, not only just wearing the leg braces, but also performing drag and just expressing yourself. Can you talk about that aspect? Was it a challenge, or was it something that came more naturally to you? I don't
Challenge, like sometimes I think I'd be in the middle of something that was a little difficult, and then I'd see Luc like wedged underneath something like this small with the camera on his shoulder or like on his knee or something, and then you just shut up or something like that. And then he's asking for a hand up, gets up, and then we're on to the next thing.
That was great.
But he would. There wouldn't be any 20, 40-minute, 2-hour conversation about, can we do this? Can this happen? Like a 7-Up commercial. And suddenly we're rolling, and before you know it, you got it. Okay, he's out of there, and we're on into another hole somewhere else, to get a specific thing. Yeah. I lost myself a little bit. Just thinking about all the places I saw him fit himself. Get a shot and get really close, and you won't believe how close I got you. You'll never believe how close I got you.
Well, he has some great takes in this film, so I think that was worth it, at least probably to him, and also probably to the audience here. Just adding to that, I mean, I'm curious about the drag and the scenes that you had to perform. How much practice and preparation did that take?
It was a lot. I don't know French, so I'm a mess. The tongue doesn't work. I still don't know any French. Tonio Descavel, who's an actor that has worked with Luc many times, he came in, and he's in the film. He's one of the police officers in the beginning of the movie. But he came in and helped me phonetically learn that damn song. And along with helping me with lines too, which I've never had that kind of help with, which I think is the reason why I was able to spar with Jojo and keep up.
And Jojo, so I'm curious, when it comes to this final scene in this film, Evelyn, what is going through her mind, and what is her impression of Doug as she's leaving? Because she's sort of like a cipher, you can't really detect her deep feelings. What do you think she is going through her mind? Especially when she sees that dog appear in front of her house, which is kind of scary considering what you know about him.
Sweet. You know it was scary.
Well, I don't know. Like, he was kind of like the guard dog. If it was the corgi, I would have been fine. It was just like a Doberman. So.
The Doberman, shows the level of protection that he's. Yeah, we love Dobermans. They are a little scary looking though. They look like they're about business.
Justice for all Dobermans, just that particular one, I was like,
yes, I met him in person. He was really sweet. I think at the end of the scene, she, as a prison psychiatrist, I would assume you probably come across some interesting characters who may be a little devious in the mind. So when you actually meet a criminal that you're like, you're not a bad person. You're just a person that's been through a lot and had a lot of bad experiences, and somehow you're here right now. I think she empathized with that because, she probably was, in the same predicament. I have a few friends that are therapists and psychiatrists, and usually you have personal experiences you go through that influence you wanting to have that type of job, to be able to help people. So those are just the assumptions I made when I read the character, to give her a backstory. And so I think that's why she really connected with Douglas at the end, because she was like, damn. And she had to walk out, and she probably felt like he should be too, like.
Walk out?
Well, roll out. No, sorry, that was a bad joke.
I mean, technically he didn't kill anybody. Those dogs, they have a mind of their own.
Yeah, free will, right?
It's like a Charles Manson situation.
That's not how my mother's gonna look at it.
So, Caleb, I'm curious, working with all of those dogs, did you have any incidents? Was it, I can imagine it's probably not far from wrangling cats, which is, maybe not as chaotic, at least dogs listen to instructions. What was that like, and do you have a favorite dog?
Yeah, you asked me that earlier.
I was curious about the answer.
There were these, not my favorites, but there were these two, the stinkiest. There are these two dogs that were the ones on the couch that look like pillows, So those just smelled so bad. To the point to where Luc saved to shoot them. He'd always save till the weekend, the Friday. So we shoot on the Friday, and then it'd have Saturday and Sunday to air out.
Oh wow!
Because it was just so bad, and that's a testament to him and how thoughtful he is to his crew and all of us, because it was really, really bad. But I think my favorite one was that big one, that kind of one of the ones that saves the day at the end, that gets up on the desk, knocks the guy out, or whatever happens to him. But, she was really sweet. And she came over kind of late, and a lot of those dogs came from shelters. And so she came up, and she was a bit cut up and stuff, and she was just the sweetest, slobberiest, just mammoth, But I liked her a lot.
Oh my God, I don't know how you lasted on. I would have gone home with all of those dogs, and I'm.
From France to America, it's tough. Johnny Depp got in some trouble with a dog or some cat or something like that. Yeah, the Australian Labradoodle was really cute. Everyone was trying to figure out how to. Quite a few of them were adopted by the crew.
Oh my God, thank God. Well, I hope those stinky dogs, nothing's actually.
No, they were loved dearly. Just, man, oh man. The hair holds on to that smell.
Reminiscent.
Yeah.
So you guys have both worked on some pretty large projects in the past. I'm curious, as generally as actors and performers, what is the greatest advice or guidance that you've ever gotten that helped you sort of navigate the industry better in the future?
You got it.
Okay. Advice, don't be late. kind of stuff like that, probably. The work doesn't stop, or something like that. 100% is not good enough.
Don't overwork yourself. I mean, you need some time off too.
No, those are good, you know.
I would say this is a little. I'm like, I give myself the best advice. I'm like, I personally, that what's helped me is believing in a higher power, because I have to just believe in something beyond what I can see in people. So that's what's allowed me to keep a sound mind. Honestly, that's kind of like how I keep my mental health. And yeah, that's it. That's the main one right there. Is not caring about people's opinions, and allowing the anger or whatever you feel, the disdain, to fuel you forward rather than to hold you back. So
that's good advice, I think, for most people, not just actors. And I'm curious, you know, as performers, I'm sure you guys have an ideal, you know, filmmaker or actor to work across. Do you have like a wish list of, like, if somebody handed you like a blank check and went, you know, you can work with this person, whose name would you write on that check? That doesn't really make a lot of sense, but yeah, I think you know what I mean.
I put my name on the check.
You know, I met Quentin Tarantino in a club my first year in LA, and I just feel like I'm gonna work with him, because we had a moment, and he kissed my hand, and this girl was like, "Oh my gosh, you are blessed forever, Quentin Tarantino." Kiss your hand. And I was like, "Girl, I've been blessed, but yes." And so I heard he had one more movie. I'm gonna get my people on it. So yeah, we gonna see.
I hope to work with Jojo in that movie, with Mr. Tarantino.
Start a petition.
Yeah, Gene Wilder's dead. You know?
I mean, that's fair. I hope that dream comes true. Maybe you guys can say it's a package deal, and, you know,
Yeah.
both be cast.
No, she'll go straight to,
You were strengthening for me.
So I have a question for challenging roles and challenging parts, you know, especially things that are not just like mentally challenging, or not just physically challenging, but also mentally challenging. How do you prepare? How do you get into that mind space where you're ready to act in that scene, and then how do you get out of it?
I think learning the lines is the most important thing. I make sure I study the night before and the day of. And yeah, this was probably the most dialogue heavy that I've done, in terms of, you know, the last day, Luc had us do I think it was 8 or 9 pages in one take, and we didn't know we were gonna do that. And
I'm trying to tell you, I think there's a chance.
you were like, he might, and he did, and I was very happy that I knew my lines, because usually you can, you know, be like, well, I'm gonna learn a scene, and, you know, I'll, you know, take the time in between to get the left, you know, but yeah, we did it all in one take, and he was so pleased when we finished, and it was like, okay, moving on, and I was like, thank God. Yeah, that's the biggest thing, is like making sure that, because when you get to set, especially Luc's set, you know everybody else is gonna have their stuff together, and you don't want to be the one at all.
No,
Here you go.
no, you don't want to be the one holding anything up, or in the bathroom, and everyone's ready to go, and they got 35 dogs ready to go. But I couldn't get far because of those legs. So. What was the question? You're asking about something about getting rid of stuff, or
Yeah.
taking challenges.
Yeah, when you're getting into like a challenge, I mean, especially for this character, he's really, I mean, there's a lot to take on. Like, he's got a lot of layers to him, like literally sometimes.
Yeah, but Luc is, I mean, it's not his first rodeo. So, I mean, I love his movies, and his movies are very much himself all the time. Even if you don't like them, they're very much him. And I love that so much. So a lot of that's just about following him and trusting him, and then trusting your own intuition and gut and all that stuff, and the hard work that you do beforehand. But he's the captain of the ship, so all you got to do is keep up with him. But he's fast, so it's tough to keep up with. And then getting rid of anything's pretty easy, because usually whatever you're going back to is pretty different from what you're just coming from.
I would hope so, in this case especially.
Yeah,
I mean,
I left the wheelchair in France. With 124 dogs.
I would not want to leave the dogs personally, but you know.
I was okay about it. After 3 months, I was all right to get back to a hairless house.
That's very fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so Caleb, I want to discuss a little bit about your past projects. Specifically, I first discovered you, which, like 12 years ago or something at this point, from X-Men First Class.
I hear they want me back. No, I'm teasing.
Well, I'm curious because the industry has shifted so like massively since that time.
Yeah,
And
we got CGI.
yeah, a lot of CGI.
We got special effects.
Is there any part of you that wants to return back to like a franchise, or is that just in your rear window now?
No, just that was awesome, and I just want to keep working. But no, not really. Like that was like it was an amazing experience. But like the movie that we made tonight, it's not Disney, it's not Warner Brothers. It took a lot of hard work and a lot of fighting to get it to where it is, how you guys saw it. But I believe in the way that happened so much more. And the bigger stuff, it's harder to. There's great people involved, but it is harder to make something, I think, as special, because there's so many more people to please. And that can be tough.
Yeah, I can imagine there's a lot of people involved, a lot of hands.
Yeah, and they're not sure what year it takes place, and they're still asking, if these are the right costumes, and are these the real ones, and how do you pronounce the last name? And it's bad.
Okay, well, message taken.
Maybe it's better.
I mean, I can't speak on that. And then looking forward, as I said, Dracula, A Love Tale. That's your next work. How is it working with the great Christoph Waltz on that film?
I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna start in a month, so.
Oh,
I'm not
exciting!
sure.
Have you spoken with him yet or discussed?
Yeah, very, very, very nice guy. I was pretty shy.
That's understandable. It can be a little bit intimidating, I think.
No, just about to start work. You don't, not ready. You don't got your fangs in yet. Nothing.
Well, I wish you luck on that.
Thank you.
And Jojo, you have a film coming out soon. It's Civil War, which I believe you play a role in. Directed by Alex Garland. Yes, I think it's up April 21st.
April 12th.
12th. Got those numbers confused.
Dyslexia. I got a little bit too. No. I'm sorry if you do.
Oh no, okay. I don't, but
I do stand up. I'm sorry.
No, you're totally
Somebody cut my mic off.
Can you talk about working with Alex Garland on that and what your general experience was? I'm really curious.
It was amazing. It was definitely a moment of like speaking a want out, and then it just came because out of the blue, I was requested to have a general with him, and I read the script and I loved it, and we met for lunch, and he basically was like, I want to offer you this role that's bigger than the role that you auditioned for, but it was for a male, but I want you to do it. And it's interesting because when I was on set, a lot of the actors were actually real Green Berets and Navy SEALs and things of that nature, and they were like, yeah, you know, a woman would never be in this role in real life, but this is so dope. They did this. And I was like, they're like, maybe somebody would be inspired to, you know, rise and rank. But once you get the, you know, what the context of the film, you'll see why things were maybe out of a little order. And, you know, but anyway, working with Alex was so amazing. I did the project literally right before DogMan. I was shot it in Atlanta for like 2 weeks, and then we finished one night. I got on a flight to Paris the next day, started DogMan the next day, and yeah, met Caleb on set. We couldn't meet before.
Shot for 1 week.
Yeah, shot for one. It was boom, boom. It was a very intense 3 weeks of, but Alex was so, him and Luc are so different. Well, from what I experienced, Luc is very like planned and meticulous, and Alex was kind of like go with the flow and just figuring it out. But they were two different types of films. So I loved both of their approaches. Very passionate both ways, and yeah, I can't wait to watch it. I'm really excited.
Yeah, I've heard some good things about it. And then just touching on Dirty Angels, I don't know how far you are in that process yet, but if you guys don't know, directed by Martin Campbell, who did Mask of Zorro and like Casino Royale, GoldenEye, I think too. Yeah. What is it like taking on? I can imagine it's probably an action-filled, more physical role. What is it like taking on that aspect of the job?
I loved it. We did a lot of training beforehand. I learned how to kill in so many ways. I didn't get to execute all my moves. I was so mad. But yeah, that was dope. To do the work ahead of time, I realized that my cardio needs to be better. They had us running suicides, and I was like, whoa, am I in middle school? It was a little trauma that I experienced. But it was incredible. We shot it in Greece, and that was dope. Thessaloniki, Greece. No shade, it's not sexy Greece, but it's nice. It's nice.
It's not sexy Greece.
You know, sexy Greece is Santorini, you know.
Never been.
Okay, me either. I've never been to those places. Anyway, we had a great time, and Martin is incredible. And oh my gosh, for a man his age, the energy he has, like, wow. I would just hope to one day just be that vibrant of a. I think he's in his, not to put his age out there, but I'm just saying, you know, like.
Maybe he's running those suicides like every day.
There's a
You
pretty
know,
long shoot, wasn't it?
It was, yes, we were there from November to March, I believe, and yeah, that was a long time to be abroad.
Still adding up.
Yeah, it was a long time, but it should be an incredible film. And yeah, the physical part was just, it was cool. It was cool.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. That cast is like amazing, so I'm like, sign me up.
Thank you.
And then just a final question. Obviously, in this film, Doug has his dogs he can kind of telepathically communicate with. If you
Yes.
could pick a fictional animal to have that type of relationship with, which one would it be?
Which ones rule the planet? Is it the bees, or what's got us
Well, it
under their
depends on
thumb?
what media
Is
you're
it us?
talking about.
I don't know. That's a silly question. I'm not sure. Yeah, I never was big on Aquaman. It was nice though. We got to show the film in China, and it was the same week Aquaman was coming out, and we beat Aquaman. It felt so good. And there was one lady that got up in the audience, and we were doing Q&As, and she was in her late 70s. And she got up and she was talking about, through her grandson who was translating for her, she was crying and telling us that she'd been sold several times as a child, and that she had dogs, and that her dogs, she didn't treat them well enough. And something about how she felt very guilty for not giving them that love. But now she has a family of her own in time, and she said it's through her children, and now they have animals, and and it meant a lot to go over there and show the film over there. But to have some folks like herself talk about it. I don't know why I brought that up. Probably the last time I was in front of people with the movie was in China, and that just popped in my head. But so I just want to thank you guys so much again for seeing this movie, and I hope you guys also got something from it. I don't know if we're done. I'm tired. I don't know if you guys are.
That was the benediction.
I mean, if you do have an answer of like fictional animal.
Oh, wait, what's the question?
Do you have a
I'm
fictional
sorry.
animal that you would like to
Telepathic
have
powers
you
with
telepathic
animals.
powers with you?
Your dog would be good. But
Oh, well, I feel like I communicate with my dog already.
stop peeing in the house.
She is very communicative with her eyes. I can see when
The
she's
judgment.
the judgment, and I can see when she's considering whether or not to listen to me. Most of the time, she doesn't, and she's not food motivated, so I really have no upper hand in this situation. Yeah, I'm a slave to my dog. So that's who I would probably communicate with, because I think she says some funny things.
I wouldn't be living together anymore.
Probably
If you
not.
knew.
She probably talk cash shit, to be honest.
Okay, well, that's amazing. I almost hope that doesn't happen because that, I don't know if I could handle the truth from my pet. But I want to thank you guys for talking with me and answering questions. Thank you, everybody, for being here.